Greetings of the day. In previous lecture we discussed third harmonic injection PWM, and while discussing third harmonic injection PWM technique we have seen that third harmonic common mode signal, when it is added to all the three modulating waves MR, MY, MB, it modifies the modulating waves such that the modulating waves become MR star equal to MR plus MCM, MY star equal to MY plus MCM, and MB star equal to MB plus MCM. The advantage of doing this is that the inverter output voltage increases by about 15.5% without going into the overmodulation. That means the inverter output voltage increases by 15.5% without compromising on the harmonic performance of the inverter. We have discussed two cases of third harmonic injection PWM. First was for K equal to 1 by 6. For K equal to 1 by 6, we found that inverter output voltage is maximum, that is, it is increased by about 15.5%, but harmonic performance is slightly deteriorated. Whereas for K equal to 1 by 4, the inverter output voltage is not maximum, it may be about 11.2%, not 15.5%. I mean, it is increased by about 11.2%, but it gives the best harmonic performance. The reason being that the zero space vectors or zero switching states are uniformly distributed, equally distributed. Their timings are not changed, which reduces the ripple in the current, and hence best harmonic performance is achieved. Now in today's lecture we are going to discuss other type of PWM techniques for three-phase PWM voltage source inverters, which we categorize as discontinuous PWM techniques. I will write here discontinuous PWM techniques, or they are also called bus clamping PWM techniques. We have already discussed bus clamping PWM techniques in single phase PWM voltage source inverters. We are going to discuss various types of bus clamping PWM techniques in three-phase PWM voltage source inverters. Now, as far as these bus clamping techniques are concerned, they are also called discontinuous PWM techniques. Why are they called discontinuous PWM techniques? Because the modulating signals are discontinuous functions of the time, or the inverter output voltages, they become the discontinuous function of the time. In case of sine triangle modulation, our modulating waves were like this. For example, this was MR, this was MY, and this was MB. All the three were continuous functions of the time. You can see they vary continuously with respect to the time, like this. Okay. In third harmonic injection PWM technique also, our modified modulating waves were like this. This was MR star, for example. This is MY star. I will write here MY star, and this is MB star. And these modulating waves are also continuous functions of the time. You can see continuous functions of the time. So therefore, sine triangle modulation or third harmonic injection PWM technique, they are also called continuous PWM techniques. So they are continuous PWM techniques. Whereas the bus clamping techniques are not continuous PWM techniques. In bus clamping technique, bus clamping PWM technique, our modulating wave may be something like this. So this may be our modulating wave. It's not a continuous function of time. You can see it is a discontinuous function of time. This function is, this is a function of time. This is also a function of time. Then this function and this function, they are joined by this line. Okay. I mean, if you want to join this function and this function, you have to lift your pen up and you have to join them like this. For example, you first draw this, then you lift your point, you then draw this, lift your pen again, and then combine them like this. Whenever there is a jump, this type of jump, it may be from negative to positive or positive to negative, such function is called discontinuous function of time, and your inverter output voltage may also become something like this. It may get clamped to positive DC bus, it may get clamped, for example, to negative DC bus like this. So inverter output voltage is also a discontinuous function of time. So from here to here, it is, function is its continuous function, then there is a jump. So that makes it discontinuous function. So therefore, bus clamping techniques are all discontinuous PWM techniques. So bus clamping techniques, therefore, they are also called discontinuous PWM techniques. Now, as far as these bus clamping techniques or PWM techniques are concerned, they are mainly classified into two categories. One is called continual clamp PWM. Continual clamp PWM. The other type of bus clamping technique, PWM technique, is called split clamp PWM technique. Split clamp PWM technique. So I repeat, the discontinuous PWM techniques or bus clamping PWM techniques are categorized or classified into two categories: continual clamp PWM technique and split clamp PWM technique. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss continual clamp PWM technique. So let me write. So I will write here continual clamp PWM technique. The first type of bus clamping PWM technique, continual clamp PWM technique. And in this continual clamp PWM technique, I am going to discuss with you 60-degree clamp, 60-degree clamp PWM technique. That means a particular phase leg is clamped for 60 degrees. That's why it's called 60-degree clamp PWM technique. I am going to discuss this continual clamp PWM technique, which is also called 60-degree clamp PWM technique, with you today. Now, in bus clamping PWM technique, what we do is that a particular phase leg is clamped to either positive DC bus or to negative DC bus for 60-degree duration. That's why it's called 60-degree clamp PWM technique. Okay. Now the question is, what is that 60-degree duration? Okay. Now, if you see the modulating wave MR, it is maximum positive. It achieves maximum positive value from 60 degrees to 120 degrees. Okay. It will be clear to you if I draw the waveforms. Okay, with the help of waveforms, you will be able to understand it. Let me draw the waveforms. Omega t axis. Let me draw first modulating wave MR. Let us assume modulation index is 0.8. So its peak values, positive peak is plus 0.8, negative peak is minus 0.8. So this is my MR, modulating wave, original modulating wave. Then MY will start after 120 degrees, somewhere here. Like this. This is modulating wave MY, and MB will start after another 120 degrees like this. This is MB. So these are my three modulating waves. Now we can very clearly see that the modulating wave, this modulating wave MR, it is having maximum peak from, see, this is 30 plus 30, 60 degrees to this 120 degrees. 60 degrees to 120 degrees, maximum peak. Okay, it's positive, maximum positive. I mean, it is maximum positive. I should say like this: the modulating wave MR is maximum positive from 60 degrees to 120 degrees. See, this is 30 plus 30 is 60, 60 plus 30 90, 90 plus 30 120 degrees. From this instant to this instant, it is having maximum positive value. Okay, it is having a positive value here also, but here this other modulating MR is also having positive value. Okay, the maximum positive value is from this instant to this instant. Similarly, if you see my is having maximum positive value from this instant to this instant. That means, see, this is 120, 150, that is 180 degrees to 180 plus 60, this is 240 degrees. And MB modulating wave is having maximum positive value from, 240 plus 63, 300 to 300, yes, it is 300 to 360 degrees. Okay, so I can write like this. MR is having maximum positive value from 60 to 120 degrees. MY is having, or it is acquiring maximum positive value from 180 degrees to 240 degrees. And MB is acquiring maximum positive value from 300 to 360 degrees. Okay. Similarly, this MR is having negative value, maximum negative value from this instant to this instant, maximum negative value. Okay. Similarly, this waveform is having maximum negative value from this instant to this instant. This waveform is having maximum negative value from this instant to this instant, 60 degree intervals, right? So I can write like this, that at omega t equal to 90 degrees, my modulating reference wave MR is having maximum value Vm. So at omega t equal to 90 degrees, MR is Vm, okay, maximum value. So therefore, I can write modified reference wave MR star. MR star is equal to MR plus MCM. At omega t equal to 90 degrees, is MR is equal to Vm, so it is Vm plus MCM, okay. Now, since this MR reference wave or MR modulating wave is having maximum positive value from 60 to 120 degrees, we will clamp it to positive DC bus maximum value from 60 to 120 degrees. Similarly, MY modulating wave is having maximum positive value from 180 to 240 degrees. We can clamp it to positive DC bus. MB is having maximum value from 300 to 360 degrees. It can also be clamped to 1. It can also be clamped to maximum value, which is 1. Similarly, in the negative half cycles, this MR can be clamped to maximum negative value, that is minus 1.0. This is maximum negative value minus 1.0 from this instant to this instant, because from over this 60 degree interval, it is having maximum negative value. This waveform MB can be clamped to negative DC bus, that is minus 1 from over this 60 degree interval, because over this 60 degree interval it is having maximum negative value. Similarly, this MY modulating wave or phase leg B can be clamped to negative DC bus over this 60 degree interval. Okay, so now the question is how to clamp phase leg R, phase leg Y and phase leg B to positive DC bus over these 60 degree intervals and to negative DC bus over these 60 degree intervals. For that purpose, we have to inject common mode voltage and add that common mode voltage to these original modulating waves MR, MY, MB, and that will modify your modulating waves, and your modulating waves will become MR star equal to, for example, modulating wave MR star will be equal to Vp minus MR, where Vp is the maximum value and in this case maximum value is 1. So I can write MR star is equal to 1 minus MR. This is how you calculate MR star. I'm sorry, it's not MR star, it's MCM. I have to calculate the common mode voltage, MCM. Now this MCM is Vp minus MR. And what is positive Vp? maximum peak value, it is 1. So it is 1 minus mr. Okay. So over this 60-degree interval, that is from 60 to 120 degrees, I want to clamp phase leg R to positive DC bus. So it can be done if I inject a common mode signal, okay, whose value is given by 1 minus mr over this interval, that is from 60 degrees to 120 degrees. So this is my 60 degree to 120 degree. Over this 60 degree to 120 degree, I will calculate the common mode signal. This is the formula of peak value minus original modulating wave. Peak value, since peak value is 1 minus mr. Okay. So it can be, let us calculate it. Let us, after calculation, let us draw it. Let us start from this instant. So here common mode voltage MCM is 1 minus mr. So 1 is this, and how much is mr? Mr is this much. So 1 minus this is some value. Okay, it will be some positive value because 1 is greater than this. It will be some positive value. Before that, let me show you this 0.2. So for example, this is 0.2. Okay, and I will show you minus 0.2 also. Minus 0.2. Now from 60 degree to 120 degree, I have written here the common mode signal is calculated like this. It is 1 minus mr. Why it is 1 minus mr? Because during this interval, mr is having maximum positive value and we want to clamp the phase leg R to positive DC bus over this interval of time. So for that purpose, we have to inject a common mode voltage whose value is given by this formula 1 minus mr from 60 to 120 degrees. So start from here. What is 1 minus mr? 1 is this minus mr. So it is some positive value. So it will jump like this. Okay. And then when you reach, for example, peak. At peak, what is mr equal to? It is 0.8. And what is 1 minus 0.8? 1 minus 0.8 is 0.2. So it will go down and near the peak, it will go to 0.2. So ये 0.2 को touch करेगा. And then it will rise again. It will increase again. Okay. And then it will go down. So this is your common mode voltage from 60 to 120 degrees. Okay. उसके बाद हमारा नेगेटिव ये MB का नेगेटिव शुरू हो रहा है. This is my MB, modulating wave MB, but negative value. So my MCM is equal to minus 1 minus MB from which instant? From 120 degrees to 120 plus 60 is 180 degrees. So from 120 degrees to 180 degrees. Okay. So this is 60 to 120 degrees. This is how we have calculated MCM from 60 to 120 degrees. MCM is minus 1 minus MB from 120 to 180 degrees. Why is it minus 1 minus MB? Because during this 60 degree interval, MB is having maximum negative value. And we want to clamp phase leg B to negative DC bus during this interval of time. So therefore, common mode signal is calculated by this formula minus 1 minus MB. So this is minus 1 minus MB. So it will start from here. And if you see the peak of this, what is peak of this MB? It is minus 0.8. And at this instant, what is minus 1 minus 0.8? It is minus 1 minus 0.8. That is equal to minus 1 plus 0.8. That is equal to minus 0.2. So that means it will go down and it will touch minus 0.2 at near the peak of modulating wave, and then it will rise again. Okay. This is from 120 to 180 degrees. Okay. Let us move ahead. Then it will go up. Then from 180 to 180 plus 60 is 240 degrees. My is having maximum positive value and we want to clamp phase leg Y to positive DC bus. So for that purpose, we have to calculate MCM. So MCM is equal to again 1 minus My. Why is it 1 minus My? Because My is having positive, maximum positive value during this 60 degree period. So this is from 180 degrees to 240 degrees. You can see it is from 180 degrees to 180 plus 60 is 240 degrees. So it will also follow the same pattern. It will be like this. And near the peak of my, what is 1 minus my? 1 minus my is 1 minus 0.8, that is 0.2. So it is near the peak, it is 0.2, and then it rises again. Okay. Then it goes down. Then during this 60 degree interval, your MR is now having maximum negative value. And we want to clamp during this period the phase lag R to negative DC bus. Okay. So for that purpose, MCM will be equal to minus 1 minus MR. Minus 1 minus MR, because MR is negative, or maximum negative during this 60 degree interval, and the duration is 240 degrees to 300 degrees. 240 plus 60 is 300 degrees. 240 degrees to 300 degrees, and it will also follow the same pattern. And here it is minus 1 minus plus 0.8, that's minus 2, minus 0.2. Then let us move ahead. And during this 60 degree interval, MB is having maximum positive value, and we want to clamp phase lag B to positive DC bus during this interval. For that purpose, we need MCM, common mode signal, and this common mode signal over this 60 degree period is given by 1 minus MB, because MB is having maximum positive value. So it is from 300 degrees to 360 degrees. It will be like this. Similarly, like this, it makes like this. So therefore, here also it will be like this. So this is our common mode signal, MCM. This is how we calculate it. Over first 60 degree interval, this common mode signal is 1 minus MR. Over next 60 degree interval, it is minus 1 minus MB. Over next 60 degree interval, it is 1 minus MY. Over next 60 degree interval, what is this? Minus MR. It is minus 1 minus MR. Over next 60 degree interval, it is 1 minus MB, and so on. So you have to continue like that. Okay. So this is our common mode signal. Now what is the rule? We already know how to calculate now the modified modulating waves. What is your MR star? Your MR star is original modulating wave plus common mode signal. MY star is also original modulating wave plus common mode signal, and MB star is also original modulating wave MB plus common mode wave or common mode signal. For phase R, I will use red color pen, and MR star is MR plus MCM. Okay, I can start from here. Okay, this is my original MR. And my MR star is MR plus MCM. MR is 0 here, MCM is this, so it will start from here. Then as I move ahead, it is MR plus MCM, so इसमें से ये subtract हो जाएगा, this minus this, till I reach this point, and at this point it is MR minus this, and ये ऊपर जाएगा ऐसे, it will go like this. Then from here onwards, it is this signal plus this signal, and it reaches the peak value. Okay, over this 60 degree interval, my MR star will touch the peak. It will be equal to peak. It will be clamped to 1.0. For example, here, what is your MR? Near the peak of MR, MR is equal to 0.8, and what is your MCM? It is 0.2. Okay. So what is 0.8 plus 0.2? Because your MR star is MR plus MCM, MR is 0.8 plus MCM here near the peak is 0.2. 0.8 plus 0.2 is 1. Okay, so over this 60 degree interval, if you add this signal with this signal, this is increasing, this is decreasing like this. I mean, it is varying like this, it is varying like this. The sum of the two will be equal to 1.0 over this entire period. It will be equal to 1.0. And this becomes my MR star. And you can see MR star becomes equal to 1.0 over this 60 degree interval. And it will clamp, phase lag R to positive DC bus over this period of time. Okay. And then let us continue. Then it will be, MR plus MCM, it will be like this, it will continue like this, MR plus MCM, and it will go down like this. Okay, because at this point, what is MR? MR is 0 and MCM is minus, maybe 0.25, something like this. So 0 minus this is 0. Okay, and at this instant of time itself, your MCM jumps from minus 0.25 to plus 0.25, so ye bhi jump ho jayega because MR is 0 here. Okay, so this will also jump, and then it will come down like this. It will come down and it will come to this point. And at this point, this is your MR and this is your MCM. So MR plus MCM was like this. For example, near the peak of MR, it is minus 0.8, and what is MCM? MCM is minus 0.2. What is minus 0.8 minus minus 0.2? That is minus 0.8, minus 0.8 minus 0.2 is minus 1. So over this 60-degree interval, your modulating wave MR star will become minus 1.0. Over this entire 60-degree interval, it will become minus 1.0. Because this MR star is original MR plus MCM. Okay, original MR is like this, MCM is like this, this plus this, over this 60-degree interval, it becomes minus 1.0. Okay, and then and then it goes like this. Okay, and it will follow the same pattern, come down, go up, and it will again clamp. It will again clamp to positive DC bus. Okay, so this is the completion of MR star. So how did I calculate it? I calculated MR star as MR plus MCM. Okay, over this 60-degree interval, MR plus MCM is 1. Over this 60-degree interval, minus MR minus MCM is minus 1. Okay, and then again plus 1, and so on. Once I have calculated MR star, now I have to calculate MY star. Okay, for calculating MY star, I can start from here. For that purpose, I will use a black color pen. MY star is MY plus MCM. So here MY is 0, MCM is minus 0.25, so it will start from here, and then it will rise like this. It will follow the same pattern as MR star. उसके बाद आप देख सकते हैं over this 60-degree interval, MY plus MCM is equal to 1. For example, at the peak of MY, what is MY? 0.8. And what is MCM? 0.2. 0.8 plus 0.2 is 1. Similarly, at all other points over this 60-degree interval, this wave plus this wave, that is MY plus MCM, will be equal to 1. So your Y phase will get clamped to positive DC bus like this. So this is your MY star. So then it will come down. It will follow the same pattern as this. Okay, it will touch this, then it will go up. Okay, then it will go down like this, and then it will clamp your MY to negative DC bus. Okay, this will be like this. Then it will continue like this. So this is my MY star. Okay. So previously भी ये ऐसे थी, it was like this and it was like this. I mean, if you complete the cycle. So this is my MY star. And then I have to draw MB star. My MB star is MB plus MCM. It starts from here. Here MB is 0, MCM is like this. It will follow these patterns, and then over this 60-degree interval, it will be equal to 1.0 all throughout. Okay, and it will come down, touch this, go up, come down like this. Okay, similarly here it will go up, come down like this. और ये आपका MB negative है over this 60-degree interval, it will clamp it to negative DC bus, so it will be minus 1.0. Okay, so it will be like this. So this is your MB star. So this is how I calculate the modified modulating waves: MR star, MY star, and MB star. Okay, Now I already told you that pole voltages, I have three pole voltages of the inverter. Okay, my pole voltages are VRO, VYO and VBO. Pole voltages very closely follow the modified modulating waves. So pole voltage VRO will have same pattern as MR star. Okay, this is my MR star. It's like this. It's discontinuous function of time like this. My pole voltage VRO will also follow the same pattern. I mean, if you calculate the pole voltage VRO, it will be like this. We already know it is like this. It is positive, negative, and then near this from 60 degree to 120 degrees, this pole voltage will be clamped to positive DC bus. It will be VDC by 2. From this instant to this instant, it will be switching. Phase leg R will be switching. It will give pole voltage VRO plus VDC by 2, minus VDC by 2, plus VDC by 2, minus VDC by 2, and so on. And then it will from 60 degree to 120 degrees. This is 60 degree interval and this is 120 degree interval. Your phase leg R gets clamped to positive DC bus because your MR star is 1. And since MR star is 1, there is no intersection between triangular carrier wave and MR star. And MR star greater than triangular carrier wave ho jata hai, and your top switch of phase leg R remains permanently on, and your phase leg R gets clamped to positive DC bus. That makes VRO equal to plus VDC by 2. और उसके बाद फिर से स्विचिंग हो जाती है like this. उसके बाद नेगेटिव हाफ साइकिल में ऐसे होता है switching, and from this over this 60 degree interval, since MR star is equal to minus 1.0, okay, your phase leg R gets clamped to negative DC bus, and your pole voltage over this 60 degree interval remains minus VDC by 2. There is no switching over this 60 degree interval. That's it. Okay, this will be the actual voltage. And if you find the instantaneous average value of this pole voltage, the instantaneous average value of this pole voltage will follow this pattern. So from this point to this point, it will be like this. It will be rising sinusoidally, and then over this period, it will be clamped to positive DC bus like this. और उसके बाद अगर आप देखेंगे, it will be following this pattern, and then this pattern, it will go up and like this, and then it is clamped to negative DC bus. So instantaneous average pole voltage VRO will have same wave shape as MR star. Okay, actual voltage waveform will be like this. From 0 to 60 degree, it will be switching like this. From 60 to 180 degrees, my phase leg R is clamped to positive DC bus, and pole voltage is plus VDC by 2. And then from this instant to this instant, it is again switching. And then over this 60 degree interval, my phase leg R gets clamped to negative DC bus, and VRO is equal to minus VDC by 2. And that completes one cycle. Then it again switches, over this period. That completes one cycle. And if you find instantaneous average value of this pole voltage, okay, instantaneous average value will have same pattern as MR star. So it will be rising like this. Then over 60 degree interval, that's 60 to 120 degrees, instantaneous average value will be equal to VDC by 2. Then it will come down like this. It will follow same pattern, and then that's it. So MR star, this is the instantaneous average value of pole voltage VRO. It will have same shape as MR star. Same is case with VYO. VYO will follow very closely the same shape as MY star. This is MY star. So VYO will follow MY star. And VBO will follow MB star shape. This is MB star. Instantaneous average value of VRO over one cycle, from one carrier period to another carrier period, over full cycle, one cycle, it is having same pattern, same shape as MR star. Instantaneous average value of pole voltage VYO over one cycle, it will have same wave shape as MY star. You can see instantaneous average pole voltage VBO over one cycle, it will have same shape as MB star. Okay, so therefore your pole voltages will get modified But what about your load voltage, line voltage? For example, if you find the line voltage, VRY. VRY is pole voltage VRO minus VYO. In terms of, modified modulating waves, your pole voltage VRO is determined by MR star minus VYO is determined by MY star. Pattern is same. So MR star is MR plus MCM and MY star is MY plus MCM. Since it is minus, so it will be minus MCM. MC and MCM cancels, so it is MR minus MY. And we know MR is Vm sine omega t minus MY is Vm sine of omega t minus 120 degrees. So it is sinusoidal in nature. So although pole voltages of inverter, they get modified, okay, they are not sinusoidal. Original modulating waves are sinusoidal, but the modified modulating waves, MR star, MY star and MB star, they are not sinusoidal. So my pole voltages are also not sinusoidal. They have the same shape. The instantaneous average value of pole voltages VRO, VYO and VBO, they will very closely follow the shape of MR star, MY star and MB star. But as far as my line voltages are concerned, they will be still sinusoidal, because in the line voltages, this common mode signal, it will cancel. MCM minus MCM, it does not appear in the line voltages. So therefore my three line voltages VRY, VYB and VBR, they are sinusoidal. Similarly, my phase voltages VRN, VYN and VBN, they are also sinusoidal. Only pole voltages get distorted. Okay. Now the question is, why did we go for this type of modulating? Why did we modify the modulating waves like this? Because it resulted in bus clamping. You can see in one cycle of inverter output voltage, phase lag R is clamped in the positive half cycle from 60 to 120 degrees. And in the negative half cycle also, it is clamped over this 60 degree interval. So in the positive half cycle, 0 to 60 degrees, there is switching of phase lag R. Then 120 to 180 degrees, there is again switching, but over this middle 60 degree interval, that is 60 to 120 degrees, it is not switching. It's clamped to positive DC bus. That means top switch of phase lag R is not switching. It is switching over this, phase lag R is switching over this 60 degree interval and over this 60 degree interval. But over the middle 60 degree interval, it is not switching. The top switch is permanently on, phase lag R is not switching over this interval. So switching losses are reduced over the 60 degree interval. This is in the positive half cycle. In the negative half cycle also, you can see the phase lag R is clamped to negative DC bus. So phase lag R is not switching over this 60 degree interval. So that means in one cycle, 60 degree plus 60 degree means 120 degree. Phase lag R is not switching for 120 degree. Okay. Similarly, phase lag Y, in positive half cycle, it is clamped to positive DC bus. It's not switching over the 60 degree interval. And in the negative half cycle, it's clamped to negative DC bus. It's not switching over this 60 degree interval. 60 plus 60 is 120 degrees. That means phase lag Y is also not switching for 120 degrees in one cycle of 360 degrees. Same is the case with phase lag B. Phase lag B is clamped to positive DC bus over this 60 degree interval and to negative DC bus over this 60 degree interval. That means 60 plus 60, 120 degrees. For 120 degrees out of 360 degrees, that means in one cycle of 360 degrees, for 120 degrees, phase lag B is not switching at all. So therefore, switching power losses are reduced by 1/3. Why by 1/3? Because each phase lag is clamped to positive DC bus or negative DC bus, and it is not switching for 120 degrees, like 60 plus 60, 120 degrees. Similarly, phase lag B, 60 plus 60, 120 degrees. Phase lag, this was Y, okay, phase lag B, 60 plus 60, 120 degrees. In a cycle of 360 degrees, each phase lag is not switching for 120 degrees. That means the switching power losses in phase lag are reduced by 1/3. Okay, right? And it results in equal loading of all the devices. For example, in phase leg R, during this period, the phase leg R is clamped to positive DC bus, so the top switch is clamped to positive DC bus. Top switch means S1 is clamped to positive DC bus. And over this 60-degree interval, the phase leg R is clamped to negative DC bus. That means the bottom switch is conducting for 60 degrees. Here, top switch is conducting for 60 degrees. During this 60-degree interval, bottom switches. So equal loading of both the switches. For example, if you see phase leg R comprises of two switches. One is the top switch S1 and another is the bottom switch S4. Similarly, if you see phase leg Y, phase leg also comprises of two switches, one top switch and one bottom switch. Top switch is S3, bottom switch is S6, and phase leg B also comprises of two switches, IGBT switches. Top switch is S5, bottom switch is S2, and this is, for example, DC, and this is AC. This is a phase R, phase Y, and phase B, and you connect a three-phase load here. Phase leg R is not switching for this 60-degree interval. That means during this 60-degree interval, the phase leg R is clamped to positive DC bus, switch S1 is on. And in the negative half cycle, phase leg R is clamped to negative DC bus, and it is clamped to negative DC bus only when bottom switch is on. So during this 60-degree, bottom switch is on. So that means for 60 degrees, top switch is on, and for 60 degrees, bottom switch of phase leg R is on. Take phase leg Y. In phase leg Y, in this phase leg, middle phase leg, it is clamped to 60 degrees. It's clamped to positive DC bus over this 60-degree interval. So that means during this period, top switch S3 is on, and over this 60-degree interval, it is clamped to negative DC bus. That means in this 60-degree interval, bottom switch S6 is on. So top switch is on for 60 degrees, bottom switch is also conducting for 60 degrees. Equal distribution. Take phase leg B. In phase leg B, over this 60-degree interval, this phase leg B is, this is B. This phase leg B is clamped to positive DC bus. That's possible only when top switch is conducting, S5 is on. And over negative half cycle, it is over this 60-degree interval, it is clamped to negative DC bus, which is possible only when bottom switch S2 is conducting. So therefore, S5 and S2, they are equally conducting for 60 degree each. So therefore, each switch is on for 60-degree interval. That results in equal loading of all the devices. And since each phase leg is clamped to either positive DC bus or negative DC bus for 120 degrees, okay, it reduces the switching power losses by 1/3. Switching power losses become 1/3 of, if this bus clamping was not done. And as far as this MCM is concerned, this common mode signal, you can see it's a triple frequency component, because in one cycle of MR, how many cycles of this? 1, 2, 3. It has 3 cycles. So it's a triple frequency component. And triple frequency component means if you do the harmonic analysis of this, it will be having third harmonic and multiples of third harmonic, 9, 15, 21, and so on. Even harmonics will not be there because of half wave symmetry. Only odd harmonics will be there. Multiples of 3, 9, 15, 21, and so on. Okay, so this was about continual clamp PWM technique, 60-degree clamp PWM technique. I have shown you how to generate this common mode signal, what is the rule, and how it results in clamping of phase leg R for 60-degree interval in positive half cycle and for 60-degree interval in negative half cycle, and similarly other phase legs, and how it reduces the switching power losses by 1/3, and how it results in equal loading of all the devices. The same thing can be achieved. The 60-degree clamp, I will write here, 60-degree clamp PWM can be achieved if you have a modulating wave whose modulation index is 1.1547. Okay, let me explain it with the help of waveforms again. I have now modulating waves, 3 modulating waves as in the previous case, but I have the modulating waves. In the previous case, the modulation index was taken as 0.8, but in this case I will take modulation index greater than 1, say 1.1547, which is 2 by root 3. Okay, so I will draw the 3 modulating waves. Let me draw the 3 modulating waves, or modulated waves, of course. So this is modulating wave MR. Now the peak of this modulating wave is 1.1547, positive peak, and negative peak is minus 1.1547, right? This is my original modulating wave MR. My MY will start after 120 degrees like this. This is MY, and MB will also start after further another 120 degrees. This is MB. Now this is my 30 plus 30, 60 degrees. Now I have to inject some common mode signal. How to calculate common mode signal? This common mode signal will be given by, it is Vp minus Mr for a period of 60 degrees to 120 degrees. Because again, from 60 degree to 120 degrees, Mr is having maximum value, and I want to clamp my phase lag R from 60 to 120 degrees, as it was done in the previous case. Similarly, phase Y, phase leg Y, I want to clamp from 180 to 240 degrees. Phase leg B, I want to clamp from 300 to 360 degrees, and so on. Okay, so for doing this, this is the equation for calculating the modulating the common mode signal. Common mode signal from 60 to 120 degrees is given by Vp minus Mr. Okay, Vp is 1.0. Vp means peak value of the triangular carrier wave, and that is 1.0 plus Vp, and this is minus Vp, minus 1.0. Now we can start from here. What is my common mode signal? It is Vp minus this Mr. Okay, Vp is 1 minus Mr. Now for this 60 degree, you can see if I start from here, Vp is 1 minus, what is Mr? Vp is 1, Mr is 0. So it will, Vp is, wait for a moment. Okay. One minus Mr. I can start from here. Let me start from here. During this period, my Vp is 1 and Mr is some value. Okay, 1 minus this, it is 0, and then it is Vp, you can see it is Vp minus Mr. Mr goes up. For example, at this point, Mr is 1.154, and it is having maximum, it's having positive value, maximum positive value, and 1 is less than this, and therefore what will happen over this period? This is my MCM. it is negative. Let me first draw, then I will explain. Positive, and then again negative, positive. There is, dissymmetry in the, my drawing is not proper. These waveforms are not symmetrical, exactly symmetrical. That's why it's happening. Okay. So see, this is 30 plus 30, 60 degrees. 60 degrees to 120 degrees. This is 60 degrees. 60 plus 30 is 90. 90 plus 30 is 120. From 60 to 120 degrees, and the common mode signal is Vp minus Mr. Okay. Vp is 1. Okay. It is 1 minus Mr. Mr since over this interval, ये देखिए, ये 60 degree interval यहाँ से है, ये 62. Over this interval, you can see Mr is greater than Vp. ये मेरा MR है. Since it is greater than Vp over this 60 degree interval, that is 60 to 120 degrees. So this minus this obviously will become negative, because my MR is greater than Vp. So Vp minus MR or 1 minus MR will be negative. So over this entire period ये negative होगा. Right? उसके बाद आप यहाँ से यहाँ ले लीजिए 60 degree interval. 120 to 120 plus 60 is 180 degrees. So MCM is equal to Vp. Over this interval, you have to subtract minus Vb. It will be minus Vb. Over the 60 degree interval, my common mode signal MCM is Vp minus Mb, and time interval is 120 degrees to 120 plus 60 is 180 degrees. ये देखिए 120 से 180 degrees, ये 60 degree interval हो जाता है. My common mode signal is Vp minus Mb. अच्छा, मेरा Vp, of course it is minus Vp minus Mb. मेरा Vp जो है ये है -1 and this is minus Mb. Over this period of interval, so it is -1 minus Mb. Mb जो है ये माइनस ही है, इसका वैल्यू माइनस ही रहेगा, minus Mb. So it will be -1 plus Mb over this interval. Okay. Since this Mb is greater in amplitude than Vp minus Vp, so this minus this will become positive. That's why over this interval it's becoming positive. उसके बाद next interval आप ले लीजिए, ये 60 degree interval ले लीजिए. So over this 60 degree interval, MCM is equal to same Vp minus My. क्योंकि ये 60 degree interval, इस 60 degree interval में My is having maximum positive value. So it is Vp minus My from 180 degrees to 240 degrees. अब आप देख सकते हैं over this 60 degree interval, Vp is 1 and My is greater than Vp. So 1 minus My will be negatively going. Similarly, in the next 60 degree interval, वो next 60 degree interval ये है, MCM is equal to minus Vp minus ये क्या है, Mr from 240 degrees to 360 degrees. And since minus Mr is higher in amplitude than minus Vp, so ये positive हो जाएगा, and then again negative, positive, and so on. Now you may get confused here. You may say, sir, we have already studied in the previous lecture third harmonic injection PWM. That was looking like this. In third harmonic injection PWM, we were injecting a third harmonic component. But if you remember, that third harmonic component was not calculated in this way. We just assumed some value of k, say k equal to 1 by 6 or k equal to 1 by 4. And, then we calculated kVm, okay? And then we injected, after calculating the peak value of that third harmonic injected wave, we just injected that waveform into this third harmonic wave. And that was purely sinusoidal. If you see the pattern of this waveform, it's not calculated that way. It is calculated by these formulae. Over first 60 degree interval, it is Vp minus Mr. Over next 60 degree interval, it is minus Vp minus Mb, and so on. So it will not be sinusoidal like that. It will be, it will not be exactly sinusoidal. It will be having some sort of distortion, because had it been sinusoidal, then it would have been like this. It is something like this. It is not 100% sinusoidal wave. Okay. So this is my MCM, common mode signal. Although it looks like similar to third harmonic injected PWM, but it is actually not third harmonic injected PWM. Okay, now you have to calculate, you have to find MR star. Now what is your MR star? We already know MR star is equal to original modulating wave MR plus common mode signal MCM. Similarly, MY star is equal to MY plus MCM, and MB star is equal to MB plus MCM. Now we can very clearly see over this 60-degree interval, यहाँ से यहाँ तक, over this 60-degree interval, you know, MR plus MCM, ये मेरा MR है और ये MCM है. ये since MR over modulated है और MCM negative जा रहा है, जितना ये the amount by which it goes up, the same amount it goes down. So the sum of these two becomes equal to 1. For example, at the peak, this is 1.1547 और ये peak exactly इस peak के बराबर है. I mean the difference of the two. This is 1. So 1.1547 minus 1 means 0.1547. So this peak is 0.1547 here. This is 0.1547. So the peak here is 1.1547. उसमें से ये subtract जब आप करेंगे 1.1547 minus 0.1547 becomes 1. So that means over this 60-degree interval, जिस 60-degree interval में आपकी MR maximum positive है, this minus this becomes equal to 1. So it will start like this और उसके बाद एक clamp हो जाएगी to 60-degree interval 1. Okay, then it will come down. Then it will come down like this. और उसके बाद ये negative half cycle है MR का, and in this negative half signal also you can see this is you know, your original MR and this is MCM. जितना ये नीचे जा रहा है उतना ये ऊपर जा रहा है. The sum of the two becomes equal to 1. So it goes like that. So therefore this is my modified modulating wave MR star. Similarly, MY star, you know, over this 60-degree interval, MY is over modulated and MCM ये नेगेटिव है. जितना ये पॉजिटिव वैल्यू ऊपर जा रहा है उतना ये नेगेटिव जा रहा है. सो दिस प्लस दिस बिकम्स इक्वल टू 1. तो यहाँ से यहाँ तक तो ये ऐसे राइज करेगा एंड देन इट विल बिकम 1. Similarly, in the negative half cycle, over this period it will become 1. Similarly here. So this is my modulating wave. I should have used another color. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is MY star. And what about MB star? MB star is this MB plus MCM. So MB में MCM जब आप add करेंगे, it will add, and over this 60-degree interval, this MB minus this becomes equal to 1. Like this. Similarly, it goes like this. So this is my MB star. So therefore, these waveforms, my modified modulating waves also get clamped to 60-degree interval, positive and negative. So therefore, my modulating waves MR star, for example, it gets clamped to positive, it clamps my inverter phase leg R to positive DC leg over the 60-degree interval, and top switch S1 will be on. And in the negative half cycle, it clamps the phase leg R to negative DC bus and bottom switch S4 will be on. Similarly, my phase leg, my modified modulating wave MY star is like this. So it clamps the Y phase to positive DC bus over this 60-degree interval, or Y phase ka top switch jo hai, that will be on during this period. And what is top switch? S3. And over this 60-degree interval, it clamps phase leg Y to negative DC bus, or bottom switch S6 will be on over this 60-degree interval. Similarly, phase leg B is clamped to positive DC bus over this 60-degree interval, so its top switch S5 will be on, and over this 60-degree interval it is clamped to negative DC bus. and its bottom switch S2 will be on. So therefore S1 is clamped, S1 is on, it's conducting for 60-degree interval. S3 is also conducting for 60-degree interval. S5 is also conducting for 60-degree interval. Similarly, the bottom switches S2, S4, S6, they are also conducting for each 60-degree interval. So each switch is conducting for 60-degree interval. They are switching for 60 plus 60, 120 degrees in one half cycle, and then again 60 plus 60, 120 degrees in negative half cycle. But in the positive half cycle, for this 60-degree interval, the phase leg R is not switching, and for this 60-degree interval, the phase leg R is again not switching. Same is true with other phase legs. All the phase legs are switching for 120 degrees in each half cycle, and they are not switching for 60-degree interval in each half cycle. So that also reduces the switching power loss. So switching power loss is reduced in the same way as in the previous case by 1/3. Because 60 plus 60 is 120 degrees, in a cycle of 360 degree, phase leg R is not switching for 120 degrees, and for rest of the 240 degrees it is switching. So therefore switching power loss is reduced by 1/3 in each phase leg R, phase leg Y, as well as phase leg B. So this is another way of achieving the bus clamping, 60-degree clamp PWM, by not by the way we did just few moments back, by having a modulating wave which is over modulated, whose magnitude is 1.1547, that is 2 by root 3, and calculating the common mode signal like this, like over this 60-degree interval, common mode signal is peak value 1 minus MR, so it becomes negative. Over this interval, my common mode signal is -1 minus MB, so it becomes like this. And therefore my common mode signal, although it looks like third harmonic injected PWM, but it is not actually third harmonic injected PWM, because in third harmonic injected PWM, my pole voltage, my reference waves were like this. They were not clamping the inverter to positive DC bus and negative DC bus. Okay, they were like this. Okay, but in this case, when you are adding this common mode signal to actual modulating waves, your phase leg R gets clamped to positive DC bus and negative DC bus for 60 degree each. Phase leg Y and phase leg B, they also get clamped to positive and negative DC bus for 60 degree each. So this results in 60 degree clamp. So this is 60 degree clamp PWM technique. Now we have discussed in today's lecture two methods of achieving this 60 degree clamp PWM. One, just few moments back, which we have discussed, in which case our modified modulating waves were something like this. This was MR star, okay? It was going like this and like this. But another way is, and what type of these common mode signal was injected? This type of common mode signal was injected in, and added to original modulating waves. The same was achieved in this 60 degree clamp PWM by taking same modulating waves but over modulated, whose peak value is 1.1547 and minus 1.1547, and calculating MCM, adding this MCM to original modulating waves, and which resulted in clamping of all the three phase legs for 60 degree each in positive as well as negative half cycle, and resulted in the reduction of switching power losses by 1/3. If you compare the two 60 degree clamp PWM techniques that we have just now finished, this technique has an advantage over the previous technique, that it results in clamping of phase legs to positive DC bus and negative DC bus for 60 degree each for each phase leg, and simultaneously it increases the inverter output voltage by 15.54%, 15.5%. Okay. So advantage of this type of 60 degree clamp PWM is it clamps each phase leg to 120 degrees. That is 60 degrees in positive half cycle to positive DC bus, and 60 degrees in negative half cycle to negative DC bus. So that makes 60 plus 60, total clamping is 60 plus 60, 120 degrees, and reduces, and hence reduces the switching power loss. So since clamping is achieved, bus clamping, so switching power loss is reduced. So that increases the converter efficiency or inverter efficiency. This is one advantage. And another advantage is the inverter output voltage is increased by about 15.5%, say just like in third harmonic injection PWM. Third harmonic injection PWM. Whereas the inverter output voltage is not increased in the previous case of 60 degree clamp PWM technique that we have discussed before this. But in this case, 60 degree clamp is achieved and simultaneously inverter output voltage is increased by 15.5%. So therefore, if you have to compare the two 60 degree clamp PWM techniques, we would, if your requirement is that inverter should produce higher output voltage, you should prefer this 60 degree clamp PWM technique than the previous 60 degree clamp PWM technique. So this will reduce the switching power losses because of the clamping of each phase leg to 120 degrees, and simultaneously it will result in increased inverter output voltage. It will increase inverter output voltage by about 15.5%. The logic is same as in third harmonic injection PWM, because you know your original modulating wave is over modulated. It is increased from 1 to 1.55, 1.547. That is, it is increased by a factor of 2 by root 3, which is 15.5%. It is increased. So therefore, if you would have compared your triangular carrier wave with original reference sine wave, it would have resulted in overmodulation with higher inverter output voltage. But without overmodulation, your actual modified modulating waves are like this. They are like this. Okay, MR star, MY star, MB star. They also result in increased inverter output voltage. They increase the inverter output voltage by 15.5%, and with additionally an advantage is that they result in bus clamping and hence reduce the switching power losses. So with this, I will end my today's lecture. So therefore, in today's lecture, I have tried to introduce to you discontinuous PWM technique. And in discontinuous PWM techniques, the first type of technique that we have discussed today is continual clamp PWM technique. Why it is called continual clamp PWM technique? Because each phase leg is continuously clamped to 60 degree in positive half cycle and 60 degree in negative half cycle. That's why it's called continual clamp PWM technique. And we have discussed two methods of achieving 60 degree continual clamp PWM. One previous technique and another this technique, in which the modulating wave is over modulated with a modulation index as 1.1547. Okay, so this method of 60 degree clamp PWM is preferable over 60 degree clamp PWM technique, which was discussed before this technique, because it not only results in bus clamping and hence reduction in the switching power loss, it also results in increase in the inverter output voltage by about 15.5%. So I will end my today's lecture. Inshallah, in our next lecture, we will discuss split clamp PWM techniques. So I request all of you to go through this lecture, and in case of any queries, any doubts, post your comments, post your doubts, your queries on WhatsApp group, and stay connected for clarification of the doubts. So thank you. This is in continuation with my today's lecture. I have simulated the 60 degree clamp, continual clamp PWM in a three-phase inverter, and I would like to share with you some of the simulation results. For example, this is the these are the waveforms for modified reference waves. This is MR star. You can see this is MR star. Okay, the same way I have just few moments back shared with you. This is MY star and this is MB star. Positive half cycle, negative half cycle, positive, negative, and positive, negative half cycles. And these are the simulation results. Okay, this is my high frequency triangular carrier wave, and I am comparing this high frequency triangular carrier wave with MR star. This is MR star like this. Okay, this is MY star and this is MB star. Okay, and these are my pole voltages. You can see over this 60-degree interval, pole voltage, your phase leg R is clamped to positive DC bus, and pole voltage VRO is plus VDC by 2. Okay, in the negative half cycle, pole voltage is minus VDC by 2. Similarly, this is pole voltage VYO. It is clamped over this 60-degree interval to positive DC bus and then negative DC bus also. And this is pole voltage VBO. It is clamped to 60-degree in positive half cycle and 60-degree in negative half cycle. Okay, and these are my line-to-line voltages. This is VRO, this is VYO, and this is VBO. Okay, so let me, these are again same things. These are pole voltages VRO, VYO, VBO, and this is line-to-line voltage VRY. Okay, and this is phase to neutral voltage VRN, phase voltage. And then you can see this is the phase voltage VRN and the current, line current IA. And you can see this line current IA is almost purely sinusoidal. And I would like to share with you the harmonic spectrum. The harmonic spectrum of line current is like this. This is the harmonic spectrum of voltage, and this is the harmonic spectrum of current. And the THD of current is around 5%. It is slightly higher because I have taken less switching frequency in this case. If I increase the switching frequency, because I can now increase switching frequency because of the bus clamping. Bus clamping results in less switching power losses. So that gives me an a flexibility of increasing the switching frequency. So therefore, if I increase the switching frequency, my current will almost become sinusoidal, and THD of the current will go less than 5%. Okay. Yeah, that's it. This is what I have done here. I have taken a carrier ratio of 30. So carrier ratio of 30 I have taken, and I have increased the switching frequency. And you can see the current has almost become sinusoidal. This is the phase voltage and this is current. And current has almost become now sinusoidal because I have increased the switching frequency. And you can see current and its harmonic spectrum. And THD of the current I would like to share with you. It is, if it is clear to you, the THD of the current you can read from here. Yeah, THD of the current is, yeah, it's written somewhere here. It is just 2.09%. In the previous case, when switching frequency was low, it was about 5%, and it has gone down by increasing the switching frequency. And this is 60-degree clamp PWM with with M equal to 1.1547. The other way of achieving this 6-degree clamp. And these are my original modulating waves, and this is MCM, and these are the modified modulating waves, MR star, MY star, and MB star. And these are my simulation results. These are my line-to-line voltages. This is VRY line voltage, VYB line voltage, VBR line voltage, and this is comparison of high-frequency triangular carrier wave with these modified modulating waves, MR star, MY star, and MB star, using bus clamping technique. And this is my result. These are simulation results. This is phase voltage VRN, and this is line current. And I can show you the line current harmonic spectrum. This is the line current. You can see this is the line current, and this is the THD, harmonic spectrum of line current. And you can see THD is very low. It is just 2.47%, is within the permissible limits. So that's all. That were some simulation results. You can also develop or design the simulation model of this 60-degree continual clamp using both the techniques, M equal to 1.1547 technique and other technique also, and you can simulate your three-phase PWM voltage source inverters, and you can display all the waveforms on the scope and analyze them. Thank you.